Let's start by prepping our lid. I'm using 240 grit sandpaper, just got in the local hardware, and I'm going to remove the straw holder. It stops any paint or anything getting on it. So it's a light sand, just the total top of the lid, plus don't forget the edges because I'm going to paint there as well. I'm using Aurora Paints. Each of the Aurora Paints only take 30 minutes to dry, so it's an excellent way to save time when doing your lid. And when you're painting, don't forget to do the edges as well. A good tip when painting is always come from the center out. It's a tip I learned painting circular acrylics. So I'm using a second layer of Aurora Paints to put on my glitter there. I checked there and I noticed there's a small bit on the edge that I missed, so it's all right to go in with just the excess from your paintbrush and add your glitter to make sure you have full coverage. Leave that to dry, and now I'm going to apply a coat of UV resin. It's only a thin layer of UV resin because I don't need a glass-like finish. It's only just a kind of protective coating. So I put a small amount on, and then I use an old paintbrush handle to actually spread mine out. I find it's actually really handy to do it. But you can use, I've seen people recently using those disposable lipstick applicators. Apparently they're very good because they wouldn't soak up any of the product as well. And you're just making sure you get right to the edges. Now it's quicker to cure this using your UV lamp, but it's perfectly fine to use your UV torch to do it. So I decided just to put that into the video just to show you. The only thing I'd say to you is make sure you really get in around the straw hole and the edges just to be sure for a full cure. Once it's no longer tacky to touch, you know that your cure is complete. Now I'm going in with our new I'm the Problem It's Me pearl mix. It's our first custom mix, which I'm super excited about, and I'm using our applicator kit and gem tack, which I'll put links to everything below this. So sped this up because I'm a disaster at putting on gem tack and nobody needs to see that. But I start my application of our mixes by doing a small pearl and rhinestone circle around the straw lid and on the outer layer, and then I place my big pearls strategically around the lid of the cup just so I have everything in place. The reason why I do this is because I leave them to dry after I apply them, and it means when I'm applying all the main part of the pearls and the rhinestones in the center, they are already held in place and dry, so you don't end up with one sliding off the side. It helps you to place them down and they won't go anywhere because it's like a protective layer on the edges, which is really handy, and just a small tip I learned by applying them on hundreds of lids at this stage. Now I know people are allergic to this scatter method, but I think it gives a really, really good look. And now this is the point I leave it to dry. Now I actually thought it looked really, really nice at this point, and I considered just going in and doming the glitter, but I said go ahead. And you can see here, by letting the original ones that were put on in step one dry, it really helps to hold the smaller pieces in place when you're completing the lid. I got a better angle here just as I was finishing off. I did have to stop, I think, for dinner or something there. So you can see I'm not precious with my gem tack either, and don't worry if there's big white clumps, it dries clear, and it really does dry clear, which you'll see in a second, because you can see I have lots of white available there. And then as you leave it to dry, and that's your finished product. No gem tack to be seen, clear finish. The glitter, if there's any gaps, means that it's not really obvious because there's still sparkle coming through, and it's just a really excellent way of making your cups stand out from the rest. Lots of pearl mixes available on our site, so let us know what you think.